Interlude 7.
Fatal Walk. Hrafnhildr. Many young Langer warriors stood on edge, not knowing whether to gather up quickly and fight or calmly stay surrendered. "Hrafnhildr," yelled King Gorm as he calmly stood over Bjorn's poisoned, lifeless body. "Hrafnhildr, come forward." As the Langer warriors' eyes turned to the left and right, there came a man towards the outskirts of the crowd, whose face changed from fear to terror as more eyes began staring him down, as if to forcefully beckon him forward. Though the night was dark, his face, now paler than the petals of a lily, seemed to stand in direct contrast to the surrounding moonless atmosphere. "Yes, King Gorm," a man said softly, stepping forward. He was young, in his mid-20s, wearing the blue-colored Langer tunic with a black cloak, brown linen trousers, and long leather shoes that covered him to his shins. Strapped to his side was a sheathed sword. "Hrafnhildr, my boy, it's been brought to my attention that you conspired with Bjorn to carry forward this coup, this rebellion. Is this true?" asked King Gorm. Hrafnhildr stood silent, and to a few people's laughter, while to others' dread, his brown trousers began to darken around his crotch. Now, there's no need to let loose in your pants. If you need to release, why not do so in the designated tree area? "Come, follow me," said King Gorm calmly. Pausing, Hrafnhildr slowly began putting one foot in front of the other. He felt light-headed, on guard, while being both nauseous and terrified at the same time. Of course, escaping flashed in his mind, but to run from King Gorm, to defy him even further still, was to inevitably inflict more punishment on him later, given his present narrow and slim chance of getting away. Walking behind 4 Hursars who were following King Gorm to a tree just within reach of the fire's light, but far enough to still cast shadows, Hrafnhildr stopped at the trunk. "Your sword, please," Asbjorn Eric said. "Oh, that won't be necessary, Asbjorn. He's going to need it," responded King Gorm. "Take off your undershirt and tunic, Hrafnhildr." Hrafnhildr gripped the bottom of his shirt and pulled it up and over his head, throwing it to the ground beside him. Gesturing to 2 Hursars, Hrafnhildr had both arms seized while his sword remained equipped. King Gorm walked up slowly and drew out a sharpened blade from a small leather sheath on his side. Looking in Hrafnhildr's eyes with a stoic, straight face, he slowly made an incision across his stomach, deep enough to cut the skin but not puncture any intestines, as the young warrior began screaming in agony. Turning back towards the onlooking camp of warriors, King Gorm screamed, "Who in this camp would like to go next? Anyone?" The silence that ensued, apart from Hrafnhildr's screams, went on for a minute, but for every warrior standing by, felt like an hour. Then slowly, King Gorm began pulling out enough of the screaming warriors' intestines for them to touch the ground. "Hrafnhildr, you will stake your intestines to the trunk of this tree with your sword and walk around it until you have released everything inside you. If you fail to do so, my men will begin squeezing. Begin." Something inside Hrafnhildr at this single point in time changed. Hrafnhildr knew his time on Earth was over and he'd soon face the gods. Better to face the gods, he thought, a man of courage in his last moments, than a man of cowardice. Boldly Hrafnhildr, staring down King Gorm, drew his sword, staked his lower intestine to the trunk of the beech as it spurted blood, and with levels of pain he never fathomed existed, began to boldly and defiantly drag himself around the tree. When he circled a few times, gasping for air, the pain became so excruciating he fell to the ground, passed out, and gave up his ghost.